Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of John Matrixx Talks Movies. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me. Today, I want to talk about The Mule, starring Clint Eastwood, and also Star Wars, at least under Disney. What can Star Wars learn from The Mule? Now I know you're thinking, these are two totally different movies, and you're absolutely correct. These are totally different movies. But I think The Mule is quite different from a lot of movies that are coming out today as far as story goes, content, representation, that kind of thing. I think a lot of movies, including Star Wars under Disney, has focused so much more on the identity politics involved rather than the story. The story seems to always be second nature. It's all about representing certain groups and things like that over the story. That's why I think you have, characters that are pretty weak or actors that are miscast in the Star Wars movies. Now, if you're not familiar with The Mule, The Mule stars Clint Eastwood. He's this old man around 90 years old that had a flower business, and his flower business goes under, and from there he needs money, so he ends up running drugs for the cartels. So he would go to one location, pick up a load, he would drop it off, and he would get paid, and he made a lot of money. And with this money, he started actually doing things for his family and with the community. Now, he was always a person that actually put his family second. So he didn't really have a great relationship with his family. And his family did not know what he was doing. So this movie did not. I'm willing to say that this movie had zero special effects shot in this movie. It was all on location. There are scenes where you see a Marshall store, a Waffle House. There's a scene actually takes place in a Waffle House. All of that is real. I think all of the roadside all of that is real when he's driving. So I don't think there's one scene that actually took any kind of special effects. And the action in this movie is next to non-existent. Yes, this is a drug movie, but there's no shootouts or anything like that in this movie. Yes, does people get killed? Yeah, there's a few, but it's not like an all-out shootout. But this story actually makes you care for the character that Clint Eastwood is playing on screen, and also you care about his family. So, going back to Star Wars now, it's all about representation now over story. You should like Rey because she's a female and she's a strong female character, but she's a poorly developed character. When I'm watching The Mule, I'm not looking on screen at Clint Eastwood and saying, you know what, he's a white man. And when I see Michael Pena on screen, I'm not saying, you know what, he's a Hispanic man, or Bradley Cooper, he's a white man. I'm not thinking like that. I'm just thinking that these are characters, they're part of the story, and they are very, very good characters. Identity politics is ruining Star Wars, and it is ruining movies. And I do think to a certain extent that a lot of the action scenes are trying to take place over story. When you actually shoot a movie based on, action scenes over story, that can be a problem. Now, granted, Star Wars, you need lightsaber battles, you need CGI shots because it takes place in space and there's all this technology of Star Wars. I get that. But The Mule really showed you what an old school movie is like. Now, Clint Eastwood directed this. It does have a Gran Torino kind of feel to it also. So if you watch Gran Torino, it's very, very similar in that way. If you haven't seen Gran Torino, check it out. It is an excellent movie. But watching this movie, I really cared for the characters, for his family. Even when they actually got to a little bit darker stuff, with the drug cartels, it was all about the story. Now, did they completely develop every character in this movie? No, of course not. Not every character. But the main character was fully developed, unlike Rey in Star Wars. Rey in Star Wars is all about, we're going to have this strong woman. If you don't like it, then you are a sexist. We're going to put Rose Tico in this movie. If you don't like that character, then you are racist. But we don't care about those characters, because even from the companies, from Lucasfilm, they're saying things like the Force is female. That should tell you that they are putting, identity politics over the story. Watching the Mule, it's just not like that. It's just an old school film with very good storytelling. And this is actually based off of a true story. It really is. So I highly recommend that you watch the Mule, because I know we live in this age of, superhero action adventure movies. This is something different right here. And it was one of the best movies of 2018. I feel very secure in saying that. Will this movie get nominated for an Academy Award? Most likely not, because it does not focus on the identity politics. So that's all I have for you today. So let me know, have you seen the Mule? Or will you end up seeing a Mule after you watch what I have to say about it? And do you agree with me that Star Wars can learn certain things from the Mule going forward? Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.